it was really something I was interested in. I had done robotics before, so it was just kind of continuing things I had done before, but in a much higher level environment in college.
I've always had an interest in mechanics and mechanical things. Through the years, I've done a lot of work on mowers, dirt bikes, and I just thought it was a great way to advance my knowledge in robotics and mechanics.
I joined UAA Robotics because I was really interested in having a different perspective outside of school, one where you're really working together as a team to build a product.
So URC stands for the University Rover Challenge. It's a yearly competition put on for university students and teams by the Mars Society. They are looking to gain knowledge about rovers that would potentially be able to accompany astronauts to Mars and not just be autonomous rovers that are acting on their own on Mars, but be teleoperated from a base control camp within the Martian surface.
4 main tasks: equipment servicing, extreme retrieval, science, and a terrain challenge.
There's an autonomous portion where the rover has to be acting completely of its own volition, so to speak. It has to analyze the terrain that it'll be going over, and it has to do so without us telling it that any terrain is okay for it to go over or not okay. It has to determine on its own what it can traverse, and then it has to move itself to a particular GPS location, and within that location it will be looking for a hanging tennis ball, which will be the point it needs to arrive at.
Well, right now we're focusing on the suspension arm. So basically, we are trying to get the most possible clearance. So we're mounting the suspension and springs further up the arms. So they have a limited amount of travel, but that significantly increases our total suspension and clearance, and significantly increases the height of the rover. We'll have a small cliff that we have to go off of. I believe it's like a 3-foot or 4-foot drop, and that's where we'll need the most clearance so the rover doesn't bottom out going off that.
I'm working on the robotic arm, which is going to be used on the rover to do a bunch of tasks that are like human level, such as equipment servicing and like picking up wrenches and handing them to astronauts and stuff. During the extreme retrieval, we will be getting objects and bringing them to different places. For the equipment servicing, we're going to be essentially starting a generator. And then for the science task, we are going to be using the arm to get science samples of the soil. There's a lot of different ways that you can optimize so that you can achieve those goals. And so the right answer is not always clear-cut. A lot of times it depends on other aspects of the rover.
I mean, I've had an interest in UTVs and ATVs and stuff, and while designing the suspension, that's a pretty common in all ATVs and off-road machines. So if I were to get a job, maybe at Polaris or Arctic Cat or some other large company, I think my experience helping design that would be a definite attribute.
I do think that if I look to any kind of career in the astronomy or astrophysical industry, it will definitely be helpful to have participated in this.
Yeah, I really am hoping to take away relationships, working relationships with all of the members involved. I really want to learn more about stuff, and I've already learned so much. I really hope to get into robotics more as I continue to go through my career, so it's all a learning process.